comes out for LGD. They ran it yesterday against the Terrorblade.
They had it in the offlane, so yeah, it could be if they want to do Bristleback as a carry, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, juicy. And that with Elder Titan.
Nice
oh,
call.
God, this Terrorblade.
Well, that's where ET amplifies that magic damage,
Yeah,
so
this
you're looking good.
This is going to be a hard TB game if he doesn't have a good start.
They need like a mid with some control now. Like they've
Puck.
got no stuns. Yeah, Puck, DK, Ember's like maybe okay. Ember's actually not. Ember's good against TB. It's more magic damage, but then you're all in on magic. BKBs ruin you. So maybe not.
And against Disruptor, with no Kunkka to X you back out, could be painful.
Yep. I'm excited to see a Zeus pick, though. That's definitely some good fun.
Yeah, and it's a vision hero for them, which they didn't. I'm trying to remember. They didn't really have it. They had the Slardar last game, I guess, but underfarmed, often dead, 1 in 10 that game. So perhaps a more reliable source of vision around the map in the form of the Zeus.
Death probably ban physical damage hero, something kind of control-y with the silence, AoE silence, but something that takes objectives, which right now they kind of lack. Bristle does so very slowly. As tanky as he can get, he won't actually kill the buildings all too well.
Ban number 5 for LGD. It'll be a miracle hero of some sort. I mean, we mentioned Puck. Is there anything that you like better? It's not feeling like the Bloodseeker will be grabbed again.
The Puck doesn't hit buildings all too well, so maybe they look more at the
Dragon Knight was the other one.
Yeah.
Well, not going to happen now. LGD take that.
Oh, no, I was talking about Dragon Knight for LFY.
For LGD.
Yeah.
Oh, I was asking what the Miracle Hero would be.
Oh, Miracle Hero.
Do you been listening to me, guys?
Some of the time, it's...
Are you hitting the mute button perhaps a bit too often right now?
It's still early.
It's like that. Have you seen that episode of Black Mirror? Or you can just mute people.
Yes.
You can't actually see
That's great.
them.
Yeah.
Are you using that on me? Be honest. It's okay.
Sorry, what was it?
you shouldn't be asking what it was because you can't hear it.
That's true.
Caught in your pack of lies.
Yeah, so I think DK was the pick for LFY. Hits buildings, has control. Like I think they need something with stuns, but something that could also ideally take objectives since Bristle doesn't. For Miracle, you want to get good lane matchup. You want to get something you can be flashy with, make plays, create space for TB with. So, I don't know. Maybe something funky like a Bloodseeker again, but I think they won't just stick to the same hero 2 games in a row necessarily.
Timber it is. Timber. So up against 3 strength heroes here, 2 mega tanks. Could be a good Timber game, but there's a Disruptor and a Zeus. There's a lot of magic damage. There's some good control there. So it's not like an obvious Timber is going to dominate kind of game either. I'm liking this LGD draft a lot better, Gods, I think, than game number 1 personally. What are your thoughts?
Great game for magic damage. Timber, Terrorblade. Gonna not have a good time against this Zeus Elder Titan. Even heroes like Disruptor, DK have a little bit of magic damage themselves, so we'll definitely be seeing some BKBs out of the Terrorblade. Timber likely to rush something like a Hood if he feels he needs it. I think the key thing for LFY is getting the experience and farm on the Zeus, since it will be in the offlane for Inflame, so finding a way to actually make that work, since that hero is very prone to getting ganked and brought down.
All right, our teams entering the field of battle momentarily. Liquid showing some different picks, especially in game 1, but a little bit more within the current meta in this game too. We'll see how it pans out. LGD, still early. Perhaps a team who could catch others off guard as the event started. As you know, I doubt that the teams in this group are primarily preparing for them. Maybe after yesterday, though, with the win against OG, that may have changed. So, interested to see how they fare as teams get more tape on them, and if they're able to find some plan Bs and adapt. Currently, the Night Stalker Batrider bans, though, feeling like they are throwing LGD for a slight loop.
Yep. ET
So,
pick
game 2.
is going to be the interesting one to see how this will work. Zeus not going to be the easiest offlane to play, but I imagine we'll see ET helping the offlane more than the mid this game. DK just wants to get levels, so he'll just sit there spamming his Breathe Fire.
Some early skirmishes. Kuroki
He's
getting the high ground ward up and does get eyes on DDC.
He's got 2 very nice wards for his team. Got the tower ward at the bottom lane.
You can see LGD are more controlling these bounty runes than last time. Last time you mentioned the offlaner did not come to help, but you can see Zeus is sticking around to ensure that There is no Liquid incursion.
What's going on? So Darkseer's at bottom for now with the Terrorblade. Is Terrorblade going to swing up? So I think they're trying to fake out.
Dodge the Zeus. I think they're trying to dodge the Zeus here.
So they kind of had Terrorblade like in by the bounty rune, almost like hoping that he gets scattered by a ward. I think they may have realized ET went down bottom to ward, so they're trying to fake out LFY, show Terrorblade bottom when he's actually going top. And he's going to get a matchup against Bristle, which is not exactly necessarily going to be an amazing matchup. Bristle Disruptor is still tough, but probably just thinks it's easier than the Zeus. Zeus ET is pretty strong.
Do you know what that line actually means?
Nope.
What they're shouting?
I know this is the ROTK one. I also don't know what that means, but I recognize it better.
All right, so this time around a 2 for 2 on the bounty runes, a little bit more even. As it will be a Timbersaw against Dragon Knight mid lane. Super already getting bullied a bit.
That's a thriller of a mid lane.
Oh yeah, and Kuro was looking to pressure. So Zeus gets left alone bottom, at least for now.
Yep.
Not showing signs of the rotation.
Kuro was looking for a Curious Knight, but didn't come out.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know if I mind just leaving the Zeus here. Like, sure, maybe he's not going to pressure the Terrorblade, but he's also going to get a lot of levels, won't be forced out of the lane, and a highly leveled Zeus against a tri-lane Terrorblade, that's potentially a recipe for just a lot of free gold. But hold that thought as Monet gets bullied here top lane. Great shards by Kuro on the rotation. Start off mid, made his way top, and he will secure the first blood. So Liquid again.
Courier is going down, LD. He's got the bonus damage and movement speed. Goodbye.
And see you later. Not carrying anything on it, though. Miracle, at the very least, did grab his boots here.
Yep.
And is not going for the bottle, from the looks of things. So.
Gold advantage for Dire team, though.
That Kuro again. Monet just died. He cannot afford to die a second time. He's in all kinds of trouble. Has the salve. Not going to get a chance to use it. Liquid strike gold again. Terrorblade tri-lane, not normally known for being a high kill lane, but apparently this time it is. As Afu comes in, looks to give the old staple gun to GH. Not dead just yet, though. Great snowball again, the save from Kuro. Again, the kill for Liquid. 3-0 the score. Meanwhile, the mid lane being slightly won here by Miracle, trying to keep the pressure on Super. And the bottom lane, Mind Control, trading evenly so far with this Zeus. So Liquid across the board with a slight lead, getting the upper hand here, even with the Courier Snipe.
Just kind of outplaying them. Like, Bristle should not die a second time to the same Metamorph. Like, you use Metamorph to kill the BB. As a Bristle, you say, okay, that's fine. I'm going to come back to the lane. Meta's going to end, and then I'll win the lane because he doesn't have meta anymore. But he dies twice to the same Metamorph. That's like kind of inexcusable and saying that just shouldn't happen. It is a decent hero to have against Bristle because he's so high armor that against the Bristle, the Quills don't really bother you as much as other heroes, but you can't afford to die like that.
Yeah, offlane Terrorblade, not CSing particularly well. That's the one piece of good news. Only 9 creeps for him so far. But does have a little wave being dragged back to the tower, so
yeah,
will equalize momentarily.
Kills somewhat making up for it. You know, the other 2 lanes are going reasonably well. Timbersaw leading the CS. Darkseer 1v1 against Zeus should trade pretty evenly. It's kind of like a lane where both of them are going to get some good farm. Probably won't see too many denies since neither's really that good at denying.
Oh, they look to cage GH, but he just walks right out. Afu continues to punch him. Look at that damage output, forcing him all the way back to the tower. LG Titan feeling fairly impactful considering he's still only level 1 as far as these early lane bullying trades go. Got the Courier Snipe and now able to force the Dazzle off the lane.
Yeah, this early Astral Spirit boots Elder Titan, gets a lot of movement speed and a lot of right-click damage. He gets plus 72 when he used on 2 heroes and this big neutral stack. So really nice to have this neutral stack to play around because he gets all this bonus damage off of it.
Kuro making another rotation, and now it's to the bottom lane where they look to dive the Zeus. Are there TPs? Will there be any help? Snowball forward, caging him in his own tower, punishing him. Kuro might be the trade, though. Does die to the tower, but no XP to be gained by the little Zeus man. He dies first. He did buy his Soul Rain, but Kuro feeling very impactful. He got that early Ward Gods, which prevented the Elder Titan rotation from accomplishing much mid earlier. He ganks bottom successfully, gets a good deep ward there to pressure the Zeus. He goes top, nets them 3 kills. Pretty much everywhere Kuro goes, there's been a bounty claimed by LGD.
Yeah, I feel like Kuro's often talked about as being that like stable 5-position support, but what we're seeing in both these games is very high impact roaming. Always in the right place. He's going to find Afu now around the mid lane. Could theoretically get a kill here.
Afu does have the TP, but with the snowball to worry about, he's in a lot of trouble. This Orb of Venom proving troublesome. Now rolling in onto the tower, timed it right. Patient before committing, and will score another kill. KuroKy, everywhere he goes, perhaps the shadow of Jerax imbuing him with a bit of extra power. I mean, it's like a Jerax-esque performance here on the Tusk, really.
Just everywhere he needs to be. Like, every single movement has a clear purpose. From even level 1 sitting mid, he's hoping to snipe a courier. When he doesn't, he immediately rotates top, gets a first blood.
Damage, though. Afu, he's hit level 2, and just too much. And this is even before you see the natural order come into play. They're able to blow him up.
Well executed gank. They'll smoke up right away. I wonder if they can deal with this Timbersaw mid. He's got a lot of reactive armor, though.
Miracle tanking the tower with the 15 stack. Super missing the breathe fire there. They're definitely not killing him easy, but they might try for it. Stomp comes through. Good connection. Now removing it. The sleep. That will be enough. Zeus getting the job done here. Another rotation leads to another kill. And it's still an even game. 5-3. A lot closer than that game 1.
Yep.
And they're even stacking Ancients here, something the Bristleback can catch up with. 26 and 6, so still CSing well. Actually, the Terrorblade, after a hot start, has retreated to the jungle. Matamaman only 17 CS, so Liquid sacking that lane, feeling like it's not working out, but already Afu is hounding him in the woods.
Tough game for Matu. There's no real easy lanes to farm against. Bristle with supports can kill you. Zeus has a lot of kill potential. This ET's roaming around. Really is a tough patch to play the carry role on. Well, we'll see another game coming his way. In the jungle, Matu is being jumped on by Super.
Dragon Knight there. The stomp connects. They've got good damage. Matu just the Zeus wrap puts an end to him. And once again, Zeus feeling like one of the strongest counters to Terrorblade. It's an old formula in a new age, but it's still an effective one.
Yeah.
Puts a lot of weight on Miracle's shoulders here.
Yep. And he's a hero that also gets countered by Zeus, so we'll see how he does. He is going to rush a Hood because of that matchup. But doing a lot of pressure on this mid lane with the maxed out reactor, but he's getting ganked now.
Is the Zeus going to come in time? Do they want to engage here from behind? He'll flank. Little Super Mario looking for the follow-up damage. Will get the kill on KuroKy, but dropping low to the Chakram. Can they finish him off? Another nuke. Look at the firepower, but Miracle healing up through it all. Has 20 stacks. He might just be a bit too tough to chew on. LGD now on the run. Under the tower, will get Grave nice and early. He goes for the chain. He's going to swing and miss here. And now Miracle maybe could turn. They're not even going to bother with the Timbersaw. Yeah, he looks low, but that's fool's gold. He's actually very tanky. Trying to bide their time. Super gets rolled on. Kuro will commit, but back into the fight is Afu, barely clipping the stomp there. Do they have the follow-up coming in? No.
Still has 20.
It's a triple for Miracle, and he's looking to make it an ultra. Dives onto DDC. So damn tanky. They just can't bring him down. Goes for the TP out, and will make it. Whew. Miracle pulling one out of the hat. 8-6. Were it not for him, they would be getting stomped right now. Instead, Liquid holding on to a slight lead.
This is kind of a bit of a Timbersaw school from Miracle. He's showing how you play this hero. You get up and aggressive past that tower, build up those reactive armors. You don't play passive and try and farm your lane. You've got to go aggressive.
Aggression is the name of the game for KuroKy, rolling in onto the Elder Titan, but does get the stop. The Zeus ults there. Huge firepower. LGD now looking to retreat the Elder Titan, and this time Miracle will be punished.
Whoa.
That is a big, big kill. LGD equalized the score, and you could just see the difference. A fight with the Zeus there, a completely different ball game than when he's not. Or rather, when he goes down early in the fight.
That time he didn't have, no reactive armor. Zeus comes in, so even though the reactive armor is not going to help against the Zeus, it does give you HP regen. He had 4 or 5 charges of it. Was not prepped to take a fight there, and LFY were made sure that they punished him, getting too aggressive in the mid lane.
Liquid, they don't have that Wombo combo this time. No Faceless Void, no Disruptor for them, and LGD are feeling confident. They get the eyes on KuroKy. Super looking to stun him out. Can they control him in time? The Zeus burst comes through, but into the fray. Miracle lurches forward. Super has the haster, and he can disengage. DDC maybe not so lucky. Big snowball commitment from Kuro. Might be a bit too big. A beautiful stomp by Afu. Will slam the door. Now they can bring the Zeus down, though. He is the heavy hitter for LGD, and with him removed, Liquid feeling a lot more confident. Out of the picture for 20-something seconds. The Dragon Knight ult about to end. The Zeus ult on cooldown for 20. It'll be Liquid's turn to push.
That was a really good move from Matu to come out of the jungle with the meta at that time. knowing that they're going to be a big fight at mid. They trade the Zeus for a support, and they get the tower off of it. Big win for Liquid, and very well played by Miracle just to maximize his damage output, completely zone out the LFY team. And until they get this Static Storm and Disruptor, it feels like LFY may need to be a little bit careful.
Miracle, no Static Storm yet. The Zeus is coming, though. He's just TP to the Shrine. They might be able to kill Miracle off. Stomp is there. They can wait for the Zeus to get in position, but as you mentioned, the Hood gonna make things tougher, though not that tough.
He didn't actually use it. That would have been an extra 325 HP.
Yeah, this is a natural order level 2 now, so he drops even faster, and they're gonna chase. Yeah. Looking for a bit more. It's a level 3 Glimpse, different build from DDC. We saw the extra points last game in Thunderstrike when Team Liquid were running the Disruptor. They also leveled up the kinetic field, I think, and Glimpse was like a 2-1-2 build to start, but not the case this time. GH could be in a bit of danger here. Zeus ult already committed, has the Thunderbolt ready, just trying to wait out this grave. No TP in sight. It's a sad day to be a Dazul, and down he'll go. Meanwhile, top lane, action breaking out is Monet. It's a little pressure from Mind Control. Bristleback been quietly trying to farm his way back into the game, but not going to continue. Miracle able to kill him off.
Make him think about that one. Monet 0 and 3 this game.
Has he hasn't farmed the Ancient stack yet, right?
No, yeah, he hasn't. The one by the mid tower is still there.
Okay.
And then, yeah, it's like a triple stack, I believe. So, a bit of farm waiting for him. Has got a Vanguard. See what item he goes for. It's pretty tough to play against this Timbersaw as a Bristle. You do need a BKB eventually, I feel, or you go for like a Blade Mail early on, like your Vanguard into Blade Mail. And then he can't really throw spells at you while you're Blade Mail without taking a lot of damage, but even that isn't really ideal.
Well, what LGD, or rather what Liquid maybe lack in raw team fighting abilities, they are going to try to make up for here with the items. We already saw the Hood picked up early. Eventually, I imagine that will be a pipe for Miracle. Not going for it now from the looks of things, but they are about to get a mech on the Mind Control Darkseer. Could help mitigate some of this damage, and when you have a Timbersaw with that much regen, if he just doesn't get burst down, things could get ugly quick, fast, in a hurry. Now the Air Splitter bottom lane, Static Storm also committed, but GH just walks his way out of it. Graves and TPs. DDC does have the Glimpse. Oh, committed too, so 2 big ults just for a little old Dazzle. Do they even get the kill? Finally, they'll muscle him down. Not the cleanest takedown, and this is going to buy a little time as Miracle will siege this top tower, and Matu going to farm out mid.
Yeah, we'll see if LFY can defend any of these towers. Doesn't really look like they want to try and push bottom lane. DK no ulti form means they don't really have the best sieging capability, so instead they will just be giving up this top tier 1 tower.
Are you a fan of the bongos, gods? See them now picked up by the Dragonite. Seems like drums are back on the menu.
This item's pretty legit. I think more on like the 4 position heroes than the a core, but I think this is like a super item. You know, he plays that like tempo controlling, team-oriented style from the mid lane, and I think drums kind of suits that playstyle and suits this draft.
Super. Looking good this game as far as the net worth department goes.
Yeah, he's doing very well. The Zeus also died a few times around those mid engagements, but has done majority of the damage output for this Dire team. Really feel like Inflame has been very impactful, and now with a Veil, like you get this Veil Zeus timing before your opponents are even close to BKBs, you can melt them.
DDC looking for the punish here. Where you going, Miracle? There's the sleep to set things up. Bristle lunging onto him. A nice time Thunderbolt interrupts the chain and probably brings Miracle down. He's low. Not dead just yet, though. The snowball rolls him forward. He's going to try to take someone down with him. Gu is there. No, he will evaporate. And now Kuro in danger, too. The Tusk throws himself onto the pyre as well. And LGD start to rack up the kills. The Veil with the Elder Titan combo, gods. That has been the recipe for LGD to have some success. Interesting to see, like, Liquid, I'm sure, saw that draft yesterday. They saw the Zeus against Terrorblade. And, it, you know, maybe underestimated it or didn't respect it enough. But LGD are making it work.
This Zeus pick, is just owning this game really hard. I think they kind of got a bit stuck in that last pick. They picked a hero that isn't really good against the Zeus. Just thinking like, what's going to be good against the DK Bristle, but they kind of exposed himself for this Zeus pick to be very impactful. 8, 3, and 5. He's been in 13 of their 14 kills as an offlaner. This is really such a good patch for like 4 positions and offlaners to be impactful, and that's what we're seeing here from Inflame. Another potential kill on mid lane if they can get Mind Control.
Oh, it'd be a big one too as he gets caught out and glimpsed right back in Disruptor continues to be high impact. VP showed it yesterday in both games this particular match. It's had an impact. LFY very content with their position right now. It's still like a tiny gold lead on paper, but all of their cores are transitioning well into the mid game. They have multiple sources of damage going late. Even a farm Terrorblade will likely struggle this game and will be very reliant on his BKB to have an impact. So
Yeah.
I think LFY are just fine if it's even going later.
Yeah, farming efficiency is definitely there for Liquid. So while they're giving up these kills, they're farming pretty well across all three cores. But until they get BKBs, they can't really fight. And then they've got to get a lot done with the BKB on Terrorblade. We'll see what else they can get. They're going to go for a pipe on Darkseer. Perhaps that's going to negate a lot of this magic damage. Hoods, Glimmer Capes, these kind of items are going to be very important this game as well. So see if this is going to be enough to keep their heroes alive against the Zeus's damage and against the ET amplifying it up.
I want to say this has been like the quietest Bristleback game I have seen between this event and Manila Masters. Just farming all game, got pressured early. He did clear the Ancients. The net worth is fine, but normally with the Bristle picks, like especially the way, say, NP was running them, there was a lot of pressure to make plays and dominate early to bully towers, but with this style of draft, it doesn't feel like there's as much weight on Monet's shoulders, so he's just been quietly farming up, getting those tank items. Still yet to really see him enter the field of battle.
Yeah, it feels like the ideal way to play that carry role is to have these heroes that aren't super greedy, don't need support, but that can just kind of sit there farming. If they have 2-3 heroes come to their lane, they just back off to the jungle. Like the Bristles, the Klinkses, these kind of just self-sufficient heroes. Lifestealer was popular for a while before he maybe got a few nerfs. And heroes like TB, these heroes do need support, and that's where I think TB's not really been a top carry pick, at least in terms of results, even though we have seen a few picked up a few times.
Let's talk about timings here, Gods. I think for Liquid, we mentioned the BKB timing, very important for them whenever they decide to go for those.
Yep.
How about LGD? What are they looking for? When is their ideal time to strike?
They're looking to go now, I think. They've just got the blink on DK, so they've got a good, reliable initiator on their side. So they'll try and get wards up around the Roshan pit, set themselves up to perhaps secure that with the help of the Bristle with his nasal goo. Problem is, he hasn't gone for the Solar Crest build, so it's a lot harder to kill Roche. But ideally, they want to be smoking, making plays, finding pickoffs on core heroes now. They've got a lot of damage output from the Zeus to the Elder Titan. Dragon Knight does all right too, so they want to be playing the aggressors here and punishing Liquid, who are playing this very greedy farming style of game. You want to beat that by picking them off.
And they hunt for the pickoffs now. Mind Control is protected. Nice observer ward down towards the southern half of the map. Ensures he can shove out this lane and avoid getting ganked, but perhaps not so easy for old GH. Gets scouted out here. Zeus Bolt, blink for the Dragon Knight, and down he goes. LGD, they have the burst damage to kill these supports. And another game where Dazzle is just feeling like food.
More pickups coming
not
out.
Not done just yet.
Yeah.
Hey, Kuro. Where are you going, Walrus Man? He's going to snowball to the low ground, tries to survive, but Afu there to cut him off at the pass. Scores the kill. And Liquid pretty much forced to the split push right now, but Miracle also in danger as DDC is rotated in.
Oh, that's dangerous, actually.
This Glimpse Static Storm combo, if they want a TP, and it starts with Elder Titan. Now Miracle looking to chain away, but they get the eyes on him. They're going to pull him right back in. Dragon Knight coming through as well. Miracle trapped out. Static Storm not yet committed. They're going to drop it now with the Stomp as well. Monet there too. They don't even have the Zeus. Are they going to be able to bring him down without it, though? That's the question. He chains away. Zeus is off in the bottom lane, and Miracle is going to make it out.
Dang.
Not sure if he had already TP'd there, if it was on cooldown.
It's TP now, yeah. I don't know when it went, but perhaps they had 4 heroes, so I think they just thought 4 was going to be enough. They wouldn't need the Zeus, but...
They need Zeus to kill Timber.
Yeah, I think they kill him eventually if he doesn't TP out there, so maybe they just need to save one of their stuns. And now Zeus, problem is, you may have well have gone if you're Zeus, because being alone in this bottom lane exposes yourself to this kind of gank, and they'll get the kill. So Zeus goes down. Nice kill for Liquid.
That's what you get for not helping your team.
Yeah.
Kuroki teaching a lesson here.
Something you and Winter were talking about was that the Night Stalker, the vision thing that Elderfly play around. The Zeus ulti kind of gives them that to a smaller extent, but it also gives it like in a global sense. So you can find those heroes and really enable your DK to get a good blink initiation. We saw it with that Dazzle pick around mid lane. So that's something which LFY are going to have to play around with in terms of vision this game.
Well, the push ramping up now. Liquid not only get that Zeus kill, they take the tier 1 down as well. Miracle continues to play aggro up top. He puts the bullying tactics to work against Monet. And again, it's DDC in position to go for the punish. He gets the glimpse back. It'll be into a stun. Does drop the hood on himself. Static Storm committed a bit later in the fight. Monet has put some pretty heavy firepower here. Will they be able to beat him down?
Barely.
The Zeus just barely able to finish the job.
Oh.
Close call again. Miracle will end up dropping there.
He would have lived if not for that Zeus ult. He was out like in 0.1 seconds. When that Zeus ult came, he was just about to complete his TP. So I think LFY need to be careful. If they're ganking the Timbersaw, they've got a lot of controls. And you can just chase him. Like, if you stop using your stuns and he starts running away, just chase after him with the Blink DK and then use your stun when you've got another ET Stomper. Like, you can't use those stuns that liberally.
Mind Control wants to chase here. LFY on the run. Don't have the tier 1 to TP to, so they've got to continue the retreat. Mind Control out pretty far. Could be glimpsed back. He's going to back that Disruptor and then get slowed down a little bit. DDC starting to take the burn damage from the Iron Shell. Good stun for the Dragon Knight, but unfortunately, Kurogi's already pulled himself into the snowball. Uppercut comes through. Now looking to stagger the retreat as Miracle gets involved. Zeus only now arriving to the fight a bit later on. He throws out the bolts, but even with the Veil, with this Elder Titan not there in support, it's not really enough firepower. Miracle continues pursuit. They've already brought down the Disruptor. They look for a bit more. Decent stomp by Afu, but Mind Control still on a hot pursuit. Diving in again. Can they kill off the Elder Titan? Just barely dodge away from the Chakram. Monet coming in. Monet not dishing out all that much damage in these fights. He's kind of afraid of the Timbersaw. He's not really the bristle boss that you expect to see. Miracle now on the run. Do they have the vision to punish him? No, instead they go for the Mind Control Darkseer. They catch him out. Doesn't have the pipe anymore. Does, however, have the mech. The heal comes through, and now it's the Zeus who's got to get the hell away. Scoots back with the Force Staff, looking for the re-engage. Static Storm gets dropped, and now from above comes the pain. Zeus brings him low, not able to finish him off. Miracle has the Bloodstone Suicide if required, and he might just have to use it here. No, he's going to get the magical save. Sunder by Matu. What a team player, but might not matter. Miracle might die twice. The Zeus is very low on Monty. He's actually going to chain up into the enemy base. Miracle going balls deep here and perhaps lives to tell the tale. Zeus throwing out a Wayward Thunderbolt. It's not enough damage. Miracle standing his ground. Monet working on it bit by bit, inch by inch, finally able to slay the beast.
He did get the deny though, so at least prevents that golden experience going LFY's way.
It looks like they might lose Mind Control. Super, though, is very light on the damage department.
Yeah. There's another blink soon. Could get another Breathe Fire off, but doesn't want to chase and throw away his own life. So, end result, still, like, you see the gold difference, you see the net worth of the TB, Darkseer, and Timbersaw. You got to be thinking, like, this is actually okay for Liquid. They still don't match up great in these team fights until the BKB comes up for Terrorblade.
All right, it's pipe gaming now. That is the counterplay here, guys.
How many are they getting?
Double pipe.
Yeah, it's actually, this is the big reason why. I mean, Zeus became a weak hero because in the early game, Raindrops owned him, and then in the mid to late game, pipes and hoods got buffed. You could stack multiple pipes. You can use this. You get this new hood barrier. It is so hard to play Zeus.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's some damage.
He needs a BKB. That is for damn sure. And he is working on it. Actually not that far away, so that's an important time to bring him down. But Liquid in pursuit. Disruptor quickly going to fall here. LGD kind of scrambling to deal with Miracle. It's a bit of a discombobulated fight. They need this Kuro kill, but the wall vacuum combination is going to make things harder. Chaining his way through. Miracle's in pursuit. Can they even get the kill on Kurogi? Trying to get vision there with the Veil, but Super has to auto-attack him down. They cage the Zeus. They will slay him. Now, Monet covering their retreat with an Earth Splitter, but they still being slowed down here by that pesky Tusk, and Liquid re-engage. Miracle just such a pain in the rear of this game as Monet will go onto him with the goo. The stomp is there, but they just can't deal with the Timbersaw. As long as Zeus is dead, he's fearless under pressure. Super now looking for a blink away, a TP out into the Roche pit he goes, and Roche will idly watch the dragon sneak away.
He'll survive that one, but really feels like we're not seeing any return from this Bristleback. He's sat in the top lane, he's been farming. He's been farming some more. He's been hard to gank. He hasn't really died since the 2 deaths in the early game where he died like at level 1 to the Metamorph. He's only died once since then, but he also has not been particularly effective. He doesn't deal damage on the Timbersaw, Darkseer, or Terrorblade. All 3 of these cores are very resilient against the Bristle.
And you've got the Dazzle ult. You've got a high armor hero and the Terrorblade if the Elder Titan is not nearby.
Also, I feel like this build he's gone for is not really tried to solve that problem. He's tried to tank up further, like with a Halberd Vanguard. The Halberd does not help against the Timber Sword, or helps against Terrorblade when you disarm him, but I feel like his biggest problem isn't surviving, it really is dishing out damage. Like I wouldn't have minded seeing like a Vanguard Radiance build even, just to give him the mischance, some extra magic damage. Something just needed to change. Blade Mail's actually not a bad idea as well. It's kind of a defensive and offensive item, since if you have a Timber Chakram on you or Terrorblade's wailing on you, you pop it and return the damage. So
probably, I mean, it was the slowest to develop Bristleback I've seen, and perhaps the most underwhelming at this point.
Yep.
Still struggling to see how he's going to fit into the game. Even later on is, oh, GH. Wrong neighborhood. Glimpse is going to pull him back in, and another death for the Wayward Dazzle. He will stand his ground. Throws out a volley of attacks. Just by time for Miracle. Not dead just yet. Monet going to commit. Will thwack him down. Meanwhile, into the back lines. Miracle has gone. Static Storm got committed for this. Now the Stomp comes through. Is the backup going to arrive in time? Miracle, will he make it out? Super's on the hunt, does have the Dragon Tail available. He turns for Mind Control. They're actually going to let Miracle retreat for now. He's a crucial kill, but he's a tough one. They let him go. And now round 2 of Pursuit will continue. Blinking forward, they get the Stomp, and now the setup can continue. They've got a Dragon Tail ready. Bolt come through, it's all about the Zeus damage. Even the Creeps lending their support. Miracle, no help from the pipes this time. He will drop, as those were unavailable. And Super hunting for that additional kill. Kuroki might even be the prize. Super blinks and then goes AFK.
Whoopsie. All right.
Too much respect for K-God.
That really even things up a lot. We keep talking about Liquid. They're farming well. They're being very efficient. They're kind of maintaining their spot on the top of the net worth for a lot of these heroes, but they still do not match up well against this Zeus. They don't have good answers for the control. Dragon Knight now, the Shadow Blade, starting to transition more into the late game as well, and we'll have to see how they respond to this. Terrorblade's BKB is up, and whether or not Liquid will look to fight around this is going to be the big question for them.
Apparently some technical hiccups here for LFY. How do you see the teams matching up later on, Gods? You mentioned you feel like Zeus has become less popular over the past, 1.5 years because of the pipe stacking and raindrops. But they have the Elder Titan, who historically has been a great late gamer. On the flip side, Liquid have some pretty solid team fight, a heavy hitter in the Terrorblade. How do you see LFY and Liquid matching up late? They're very even in gold, so it's not clear that either team is going to have a big lead much later on. And we've got plenty of time to talk about it with this lag.
This ET pick could be monstrous in the late game, amplifying up the Zeus's damage. I think LFY have itemized very intelligently with all these 4 staffs that they've picked up. I believe it's 2 for now, maybe even a 3rd coming. Disruptor's going to go Axe, but yeah, just having 2 is probably good. The Zeus is the key here to have 4 staff, because you need to keep Zeus alive. If he gets gone on and dies at the start of the fight, it's going to be ugly. ET's the same. These 2 heroes need to be positioned very well on the back lines, keeping the spirit on people, stomping as often as possible. Zeus just spamming his spells out. If these heroes stay alive in a fight, you're gonna probably come out on top if you're LFY. So 4 staffs are great on them. TB isn't going to be all that mobile, isn't going to be able to keep up, and Liquid don't have good ways to actually... They've got Ice Shards, but you can 4 stuff over them. They don't have good lockdown or control like they did in Game 1 with the Chronosphere. And
the main burst is going to be Miracle in these fights. Maybe the Terrorblade, but he doesn't have that much mobility, so getting onto those backline heroes is a tall order, and if he commits too far, that's where the Disruptor can really punish him. So it does feel like, although those backliners are relatively poor on LFY, they're not that easy to kill.
Miracle be on the receiving end of a nasty gank again if he's not careful. They're pinging his direction.
Trying to hoof it back, does not have the TP available for some time, and Fu is going to get eyes on him. It's Skin Super engaging forward. Doesn't have the Silver Edge complete just yet, but with this Earth Splitter coming through, Miracle takes a massive array of nukes. They didn't actually need the Zeus ult, but he will show a little bit of extra support to Miracle's demise.
Try and make sure he doesn't get off a suicide, I guess, with some late burst before he gets when he's getting low. But LFY in the Roche pit. Monet's gone in now with the goo. He should be able to do this pretty convincingly by himself. Question is if
it might be his first contribution in this game if he can. 12k net worth and 1, 3, and 8 to show for it.
Seems a bit unsure as well. Timbersaw doesn't take all that long to respawn even at level 18 because of the Bloodstone. even just I think he had like 6 or 7 charges. It's still enough to at least lower the respawn time, such that Roche was not going to go down fast enough, and LFY decided to sit back and play it safe and slow. Does look like we are in for a longer game this time around.
And maybe a longer series too, should LGD take this to a game. Number 3, already 2 hours, 20 minutes in.
Fortunately.
LFY not, I mean, the only real lag that we've seen is perhaps that blink in, where he just kind of stood there afterwards, but it hasn't really impacted their control of this game so far. At least not visibly.
No. Oh, they're doing well, and team fighting very well. Definitely looking like the more coordinated team this game with the way they're playing aggressive, using their spells and smokes together, picking off Miracle time and time again. He's died 8 times. He's been definitely the strong point when he's not dying, when he's applying all this pressure, creating space for March to get back in this game. But, I mean, 8 deaths is quite a lot for your mid laner. I'm not sure.
I just can't get over the Zeus's impact. 13, 6, and 11. Offlane Zeus. Liquid even tried to dodge him, and because of that, the Terrorblade maybe didn't farm as well.
Let's see let's get some damage dealt numbers. What do we got? Zeus, yeah, we go.
Oh, Juicy out-damaging Miracle himself now. Of course, a lot of that is the Elder Titan, but he'll take it.
DK's done not too bad. 16.4k for a DK.
What was the Bristleback damage? Like,
is
that even a positive number? Has he damaged his own team more than Liquid? Actually, he's done a lot.
He's done 15k.
I feel like that's somehow misleading.
We've seen this one before, LD.
Miracle commits seppuku, and LFY take a free Roche.
2 charges.
There's a lot of weight on his shoulders this game, gods.
Yeah.
It's easy to criticize Miracle, and certainly it's not been a flawless showing, but the way the game's developed, it really doesn't feel like anyone else can do anything on Liquid right now. So
he has to be the main damage dealer because TB is going to get kited. 4 staffs and just your movement speed and metamorphosis is incredibly low. So you need Timber to be farmed and be effective because he's going to do more damage in a team fight than a meta TB in a lot of situations. Maybe if you play into the TB and get locked down and just dive into him, allow him to do damage with his BKB. Actually, he gets a blink. There we go. There's a solution. Matu, I think recognizing he's going to get kited buys a blink because there's no way he can actually kill heroes without either I was thinking Hurricane Pike, but he has a different idea, which is the Blink Dagger. I like this a lot.
He really does need to get the jump. If he gets Dragon-tailed, he's just dead, assuming LFY have the backup there. He's not going to get this BKB off before they burst him. We've seen it several times. From full to none is easily possible, especially with the sleep follow-up or initiation from Afu. So the Blink allows him that potential to start the fight, perhaps.
So see how Liquid look to... I mean, they get in these items, which makes sense. Like, you got to get the BKB against the Zeus. Now you get a Blink to make up for your mobility, but we get to still see them like really take a fight or try and smoke up. You've got this very team fight-oriented Darkseer hero with Pipe, Mech, Force Stuff, and all this, but again, we haven't really seen any team moves from Liquid. It's been all these different solo plays. Like Miracle, obviously being the one big one, making all these solo moves around the map, dying quite a lot, getting some kills, doing some flashy stuff, like going into the tier 4 towers, getting a kill, and then dying. Like, it's kind of there's been some high points for him, but I think the big question is why isn't there more coming out from Liquid as a team? And that's what really needs to change as this game goes on.
Isn't a lot of it just a symptom of the lineup at this point? They don't have a great vision control hero. They have a poor matchup for Terrorblade, and he's got to itemize in a non-ideal fashion, getting a blink, having to go early BKB. Meanwhile, LFY have just this great pick-off potential with the Disruptor Dragonite. Like, how much can these heroes actually do in this matchup?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is the draft and the matchup.
Like, Kuro did a lot early, but how much can Tusk offer now?
Yeah, the fall-off is definitely there. Like, the Tusk early game was fantastic, and we are going to see... It really feels like Terrorblade because... I was going to say it feels like he's an item behind, and then I look at his net worth, and I was like, no, he's not really an item behind, but he's an item behind because his hero doesn't match up well against the Dire lineup, which
he needs to be an item ahead because of the matchup.
Yeah, if you have a bad hero matchup, you've got to make up for it in items, and right now he's just kind of even slightly ahead. Bristle with the Halberd counters him. DK just counters him because of ridiculous armor, has a silver edge too, stuns you. Zeus, obvious reasons. ET, obvious reasons, like Disruptor sides. All 5 of these heroes great against TB. So you need to be... And you go for this BKB build, you do no damage. So he's not really a 14k net worth Terrorblade because he's got a BKB. And that's where he doesn't feel
even if he
ahead.
gets it off, it's potentially a useless item aside from just some slight stats if they jump him.
And DDC is going to be going for an ag, so if you get like a blink stun from a DK on him...
Static Storm, you're dead.
Boom. Yep.
I mean, good luck getting a Grave off as Dazzle this game. I don't think we've seen a single impactful Grave from GH, and a lot of it's not even really faulting him especially for that. It's just... It's tough to be in a good position when LFY have such great pick-off potential.
Yeah. Like that they recognize that. Liquid are going to be very item dependent. Timbersaw with the pipe and hood. Wow, he got a hood with the pipe? I didn't even realize that.
And it's still not really enough, I feel like, for Miracle. They are going to try to bait him here. Perhaps this trap will pay off. They know Super's in the neighborhood. They pop the dust, they drop the sentry, and Super just scoots away.
He's got 64% magic resistance. That is formidable.
He's all in on that, really. Is Miracle, well, they're trying to bait and help him out. Super does get interrupted on the chase forward. He's caught out. Static Storm covers his retreat, though. Matumba jumps straight into the fray, directly onto the Zeus. They want to bring the Lightning Man down, but he 4 steps back. Will this kite him away to safety? It seems that's all it takes. 1 force, and he's out of there. See you later. Mind Control, meanwhile, in a lot of trouble. Monet now looking to turn things around. The Bristleback is still full HP. Matumba Man does have the Sunder ready, and DDC with the Glimpse back. Gonna find Miracle. All the magic damage block you want. Is it even enough? DDC still alive through it all. Miracle being pursued. Hounded by Monet. They will cage and bring him down. Bloodstone charge counter. Do you even want to look at it? He's down to 1. He's about to go into the negative gods, and Liquid about to drop into the 1% chance of winning this game from the looks of things. LFY just crushed them, and that's with Liquid, in theory, getting the jump there. They interrupted the Dragon Knight. They blinked in with the Terrorblade, and then nothing really happened.
Got kited. I mean, it kind of looks like... partly got kited. Also, the other part is he doesn't have enough damage. If he has more damage there, Zeus dies, and he doesn't get kited, but because he's got BKB Manta, he doesn't right-click and do enough damage. And a Blink. Blink does no damage also. The Zeus actually stayed alive for quite a long time as a result. So if he has 1 extra damage item to go with this Blink, Zeus dies there, and he doesn't get kited. But problem is, there's too many items he needs, and...
Problem is, Zeus is farming too much.
Oh,
Look at this Zeus. He's got Veil, BOTs, Fort Staff, 15 Bloodstone charges. Maybe he ought to sell some to Miracle, you know?
Zeus has some pretty nice talents as well to really amplify this hero. So
and their late game is... Yeah, it gets scarier with that static field damage. There's some real burst even late.
Even the cast range is also ridiculous. If you want to not get too close to a Terrorblade, both level 25s can be fantastic. A little surprised he went for the magic resistance over the armor. I think maybe at the time the magic resistance was better in the early game, but definitely at this stage the armor is going to do you a lot more for you. Timber is largely pure damage, so it doesn't help there. It only really helps against the Darkseer, the Iron Shell, and the Shard. So I think it was a bit of a mistake not getting the armor, but not a big deal. He's playing well.
LFY continue the onslaught. They're going to glimpse 1 back. Good 4-step, though. Might have just saved Mind Control's life. Still getting pounded. Controlled completely by LFY, who charge in with the Silver Edge auto attack on the Miracle. He is broken and pushed back. LFY now quickly taking down this tier 2. Not able to find the opening, though, in Liquid. Looking for an opening. Monet out in front. He engages. Matumba commits as well with the BKB. But who's he going to take down? DDC, so far the only one. They'll get another support as well. Afu dead. Now Monet perhaps could be caged and dealt with. He looks for GH in the trees. Loba not dead yet. Matu trying to deal with the Zeus. Super looks to help him. Matu, your team is not with you, my friend. Down he goes. In too far on his own. A very discombobulated round 2 to this fight from Liquid. Now Super gets pushed back. The Zeus plays coming out. Kuro down to the creeps as they work on him. Miracle still being kited, being dealt with by the Zeus. Super blinking away. A big juke there. Where's your 9k MMR now? He says. Liquid getting swagged on a little bit this fight, guys. It looked like a great start, but Mind Control answers back. Vex Monet up onto a cliff. Has no mana even for the TP just yet, which currently actually is in the backpack, so... Miracle continues pursuit. He's up to a solid 3 Bloodstone charges, tripling his count after that fight.
Even that fight, again, like, things look good for Liquid, the way they initiate and engage, but once again, TB does not kill the target he goes on. He went on the DK, but Zeus immediately 4-staff Super away. He makes a nice little juke at the end against the Timbersaw with his Blink Dagger and dodging the Chakram. Liquid are just getting kited and juked. They just don't have the control and lockdown anymore.
And it's only going to get harder. This BKB is losing charges.
Yeah, it definitely gets... I mean, it gets easier as the TB gets more damage items, but I don't even think Butterfly is going to make a big enough difference. Like you say, the BKB is probably the bigger problem. Soon to be 7-6-5 duration BKB is...
By the way,
trouble.
Zeus is the most farmed hero in the game.
He's doing so much damage. He's definitely the MVP right now in all these team fights.
I don't think anyone is going to pick Terrorblade into LFY again without banning Zeus. This is twice now they have trashed a TB.
It's just crazy.
Once in the lane, once dodging the lane for Liquid, it just didn't matter.
Even Miracle with a hood plus pipe, both items in his inventory.
They went double hood and a pipe, or sorry, double pipe and a hood, and it didn't matter.
The ET synergy with the Zeus is just incredible this game. Like, I'd love to see like how much of Zeus's damage has been amped up by that, but it's one of those things where, yeah, without the ET, the Zeus would not be as effective as he is, but it's still it's a great pick regardless. You may have 64% magic resistance, but Zeus, he'll go through all 5,000 effective HP if he has to. He's a Zeus.
He's my hero. Shiva's card now complete.
Yep. And DK is doing the physical damage. We talked about this line maybe lacking a bit in the physical, and everyone itemizing with hoods and pipes. That's where DK is like, sweet, Silver Edge into Daedalus. Like, this is going to be a dream game. Has the Crystallis going for BKB first and may opt for like a Bloodthorn instead. We don't really see much Daedalus purchases just because Bloodthorn's in the game nowadays, but either way,
on the
there's
flip
physical.
side, Liquid is looking at a lot of physical damage mitigation with the Assault Cuirass for Monet. Also got the Halberd, obviously much stronger ever since it became unpurgeable with Magic Immunity. So that's a fantastic pickup against the TB, especially with a lower duration BKB. You're looking at a Shiva's Guard on the Zeus. You've got a casual plate mail on a Fu. And already it feels like Miracle just can't do enough. Like, when he goes in first, they just destroy him with this Disruptor. So you're really relying on the TB, and they also seem to have answers for him. It's an uphill battle now for Liquid Gods to see how they can win fights at this point.
I feel like if TB had like completed his Butterfly and even like a Skadi, I'd be like, well, is Butterfly Skadi enough damage to like go through AC Shivers and multiple Lotus Orbs? Probably not. And this is a TB without those items. So even when he gets a Butterfly, I don't even know if that's going to be enough. I feel like he's going to have to go all in for a damage item with the Butterfly, like the Daedalus himself, because damage output is a major concern. We're seeing it reflected in Mind Control's time. He goes Dagon Darkseer. He's like, my team's not doing damage. Guess I got to do it myself. When your Darkseer's picking up a Dagon, you know the game is either going incredibly well and you're stomping, or
incredibly poorly.
Incredibly poorly, yeah, and you need a hero that you don't expect to do damage.
Look at this Zeus, just charges in. How you doing, Kuro? Half your health gone, and that's before the Spirit arrives. He's on the run now. Charging forward, Super gets the Blink initiation. And looks like a little bit of lag here, but Kuro will get glimpsed on back and dealt with by LFY again. When Zeus is leading the charge, not entirely blind, but well ahead of his team into potentially 5 Liquid heroes.
Yeah.
That's another sign you know the game's going really well for the Zeus's team and really poorly for the opposition.
It's got 18 Bloodstone charges. That is pretty absurd too at this point. He's going to have a very low respawn. See where the Aegis goes. Again, goes to Monet. Bit surprised by this. I feel like he's one of the tank. I mean, they're all pretty tanky is the thing. DK's got just as much health and similar armor. With DK and Bristle, pretty hard to kill. Zeus could theoretically die, but he may want to with the Bloodstone, and then can always have that low respawn, TP back in.
Liquid's starting to get a bit desperate, perhaps, as they will walk right into a dire scan. Zeus showing himself bottom, but should be able to stay back. And now, banging at the front door will be the Bristle boss and the Dragon Knight, frosty as ever, and firmly in position on the high ground. That Dagon continues to be leveled up. To what avail? We'll have to wait and see. Liquid so far back and gonna take a nap. LFY putting them to sleep, taking the tower down, losing nothing in the process, and that was not even the full commitment. I don't know if Liquid can withstand firepower of this magnitude. Quickly, the pipe number 1 gets dispersed, and they start to lock on to Miracle. Super, waiting for his opening to strike here. The Rex dropping fast. Liquid yet to show signs of a real defense. When do they make the move? They're one lane down. They've offered nothing as far as a high ground hold. And now Miracle in trouble, just getting jumped on by the two beefcakes in the front lines. This is without the Zeus, without the Elder Titan support. Earth Splitter coming in late, and now Liquid make their move. They try to re-engage. They drop the vacuum, but Matu's on the run, even in BKB. Oh, he might be able to turn the tides here, but Super's got the cheese, the counter to your Sunder, the counter to counters, and LFY have all the answers now. Oh, cleaning up left, right, and center. It'll be a buyback for the Terrorblade. Glips right back in the waiting arms of Afu. He will chain to the south. Liquid being ignored now. LFY said, we don't need to kill your heroes any longer. You don't scare us. Terrorblade, yeah, buying back, but he does so without the Metamorph, so he is a pale shadow of what already feels like a shadow to begin with. Liquid being forced back to their fountain. No buybacks of significance available. And now with the glimpse on Matu, this will be a dieback too, making about a 22k gold lead. Bristleback finally decides to enter the game as a relevant hero in LFY. We'll end it in style with a rampage for Monet. A beautiful painting, I have to say. At least if you're an LFY fan.
What a Zeus performance.
Zeus just